we have discussed the elasticity in a beam. That is, we have discussed what is a beam, what are the restoring forces acting in a beam, and also we have derived the expression for bending moment of a beam. Now, in this video, let us, in continuation with what we have done in the last video, in this video, let us derive the expression for depression in the case of a single cantilever. A cantilever is a beam fixed at one end and loaded at the other end. Now, in this expression, we are considering a beam AB, which is fixed at A and free at B. At the free end, a load W is attached. As a result, the beam bends. So AB takes a new position, AB dash. Let Y naught be the deflection at the free end of the cantilever under the load. The deflection is maximum at the free end and is equal to 0 at the fixed end. Now, we are calling the depression, that is the displacement of the free end under the action of load, as Y naught at its free end. Let P be a point at a distance x from the fixed end and at a distance L minus x from the free end B. Now, let us choose a point P arbitrarily marked anywhere on the beam such that the distance, if the length of the entire beam is L, the point P, we can say it is at a distance x from the fixed end and at a distance L minus x from the free end. So we have arbitrarily chosen a point P such that it is at a distance x from the fixed end A and at a distance L minus x from the free end B. And P dash is a new position of the point P after the application of the load. So initially the beam was taking the shape of AB. Under the action of the load, AB has shifted to AB dash. As a result, the point P also shifts to P dash. So let us say the depression at point P, that is the distance from P to P dash, let us call it as Y. So Y is the depression at point P and Y naught is the depression at the free end, that is B. Let us derive first what is the depression at the point P. We all know that bending moment, that is moment of force at point P, is equal to force into particular distance. So we are trying to derive the depression at point P, which is Y. And we know that bending moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. We have derived this in the previous video, that is bending moment is Y by R into Ig, where Y is the Young's modulus of the material, R is the radius of the circle in which the bent beam forms like an arc of the big circle. So the radius of that circle is R and Ig is the geometrical ratio, is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Now in this case, force is the attached weight W and the perpendicular distance is L minus X. Please note the perpendicular distance will be the distance from where the load is attached. Hence, we are writing bending moment at point P is equal to W into L minus X. The equation could be rewritten as 1 by R is equal to W into L minus X by Y into Ig. Now, Y, as we have mentioned that Y is the depression at point P, we can build up a relation mathematically and prove that 1 by R is equal to d square Y by dx square. What is that R? Now, the point P has shifted to P dash. So if I imagine P dash Q, some other point on the beam AB dash, so P dash Q will form an arc of a circle whose radius is R. So mathematically we can prove that 1 by R is equal to d square Y by dx square. The reason behind choosing this relation, which is established mathematically, is we can derive the expression y, because on replacing 1 by r as d square y by dx square, we can easily find out y. Hence, equation 1 takes the form d square y by dx square is equal to w into L minus x upon yig. Now, d square y by dx square could be written as d by dx of dy by dx equal to w into L minus x upon yg. This further written as d of dy by dx is equal to w by yig into, actually it is L minus x into dx. So directly the product is written as L dx minus x dx. The reason behind splitting this second order derivative and taking into this form is so that when we integrate this equation, we can get rid of y. Ultimately, we are interested in obtaining y from d square y by dx square. That is, we may have to will have to integrate twice. So on integrating, we get integration of d of dy by dx will remain dy by dx is equal to w by yig L dx. Directly the answer is written, the on integration we get L into x minus integration of x dx will be x square by 2. Along with this, we have a constant of integration, say C1. Now, C1 is a constant of integration. Somehow let us get rid of constant of integration, because this will not be cancelled off. If I don't ignore the constant of integration, second time when we integrate, the constant of integration will also contribute to the depression. So let's get rid of the constant of integration, that is C1, by substituting the condition. It is not condition, it is the value of x, such that C1 vanishes off. dy by dx is the slope of the tangent drawn to the bent beam. The bent beam slightly takes the shape of an arc. And when we are taking slope for an arc, we have to draw a tangent and calculate the slope. So slope of that tangent is dy by dx. So when x equal to 0, then obviously the slope dy by dx is also equal to 0. Let us substitute this condition in equation 2. That is, when x equal to 0, dy by dx is also equal to 0. So substituting this condition in equation 2, we get dy by dx is 0, w by yig, the entire bracketed quantity becomes 0, and hence C1 is equal to 0. Hence, equation 2 takes the form dy by dx is equal to w by yig into lx minus x square by 2. Or, now we have to integrate this once again, because we have to obtain y. So what we'll do is we'll separate the variables. So dy is equal to w by yig into lx minus x square by 2, I'll multiply by dx. So that on integration we'll be left with y. So y is equal to w by yig. The integration of lx makes lx square by 2 minus integration of x square is x cube by 3. So when it is multiplied by 2, directly the answer is written here as minus x cube by 6 plus C2. We have got another constant of integration C2. Now here again, we have to get rid of the constant of integration C2, because that may take any value and may not help us in actually evaluating the depression y. When x equal to 0, y is also equal to 0. How is it? Let us go back to the diagram. X is the distance of point P from A. When x equal to 0, that means point P is at A. When point P is at A, then there is no question of depression, because depression is maximum at the free end and 0 at the fixed end. Hence, when x equal to 0, y is also equal to 0. So let us substitute this condition in equation 3. On substituting y is equal to 0 and x equal to 0, we get 0 is equal to w by yig. The bracketed quantity is 0. So as a result, C2 is also equal to 0. Now, the expression for depression at point P is given by y is equal to w by yig into lx square by 2 minus x cube by 3. So depression is maximum at the free end, then at any point P on the beam. So let us understand, let us find out what is the depression at the free end where we have attached the load. So at the free end, depression is denoted as y naught and x becomes equal to L. Let's go back to the diagram. At the free end, B, where we have attached the load, so let me call it as loaded end, x will be equal to L because the point P will be at point B. Okay, so it is like evaluating depression at point B. Let us substitute this condition. That is, at loaded end, y is equal to y naught and x equal to the length of the beam in the above equation. So when I substitute x equal to L, the bracketed quantity L into L square becomes L cube by 2 minus, when I substitute x equal to L, it becomes L cube by 6. That is, y naught is equal to w by yig into L cube by 2 minus L cube by 6. Now L cube could be taken common. So we are left with numbers half, that is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 6. This can be further simplified taking LCM in the denominator. As a result, we get y naught is equal to WL cube upon 3yig. Now please note here, y naught is the depression at the free end, W is the weight attached at the loaded end, and L is the length of the beam, Y is the Young's modulus, and Ig is the geometrical moment of inertia. Now, using this expression, one can also find out the Young's modulus of the beam. So, arranging this equation, one get Young's modulus Y as WL cube upon 3y naught Ig. For a rectangular cross section, if the beam has a rectangular cross section, then moment of inertia Ig is given by BD cube upon 12. So substituting for Ig as BD cube upon 12, we get Y is equal to 4WL cube upon Y naught BD cube, where B is the breadth of the beam and D is the thickness of the beam. The same expression is used in finding out Young's modulus in the engineering physics lab experiment, wherein the same situation is repeated. We have a beam fixed, load is attached to the free end, we calculate the depression, and we also calculate what is the Young's modulus of the beam to which we have attached the load. So with this, the discussion on beams comes to an end. So thank you.